and putting up these crazy numbers each week. All I ever wanted to do was just stay the course. You know, 130. Okay, I want 120 or 140, somewhere in there. But like when I look at like, and I'll get into the why we didn't do the football camp later, but I just thought that when you have two of the hottest wide receivers in the history of the game playing at the same time and going back and forth each week, I thought that was one of the greatest things that I thought the league needed that.
Absolutely.
I thought the National Football League needed that.
Absolutely.
But through our course, T.O., or our time of getting to the top, of getting to greatness, I think that both of our competitive juices and competitive edges got in the way because of, you know, you can go with the media reports, you can go with the media of how they ridicule the both of us. But really, in all honesty, I can tell you that it was genuinely out of love and just wanting to compete each and every week to go against guys like yourself and the Harrisons and the Modes and stuff like that. So I just always wondered when it came down to the end of, you know, of us getting to the end of our career, I was like, well, T.O., we did this, we did
y'all tied. Yeah, y'all tied at the hip.
And I said to myself, I said, T.O., the game need us, man. T.O., you remember the talk at the Kentucky Derby when me and you had a brief conversation, and I just wanted to know, you know, I was like, man, T.O., me and you needed to get together for the sake of the wide receiver position, of the position. Because you're tall, I'm tall, of course you're bigger than me, but you look at how, when we came into the league, a big wide receiver was a hot
anomaly. Yeah, it was an anomaly at the time.
All of a sudden, Steve Smith comes. Marvin Harrison is still playing at a high level. So then the big receivers kind of, as they would say, went out of style, and then all of a sudden, T.O., they come back. So I think for my question, T.O., like, why come, I mean, was it time or what? Or why we could never come together to put together an annual camp? Because you said it with your own lips. You said, hey, the Manning brothers got theirs. Why can't we do ours? And I was like, dang, T.O., for us to put a wide receiver camp together each and every year annually, invite some of the top guys, I said, T.O., we could be sitting up here doing something good for the game, and at the same time, man, making a lot of money in our sleep. But why did that never happen, bro? Talk to me, T.O.
Oh, shit. Honestly, I have no idea, but I do remember around the time that we had that discussion, because that was around like 06, 07, because I was living in Miami in Florida at the time. And so I remember that discussion we had to talk at the Derby, and then we got on the phone. And then we had some preliminary talks about doing a wide receiver like fantasy camp or something along those lines. And like I said, it just never really got off the ground. But that's not to say that we still can't do it, because I think, you know, we still have something to offer, you know, to a lot of these kids, because, you know, you think about the receivers now, I think what enabled us to do what we did, and you think about the numbers, the statistics, it was the longevity. You think about the guys that are playing the game now, I don't think, you know, our numbers they'll flirt with them, but they're not going to reach them because of the longevity. They don't know how to take care of their bodies. That's something I think we brought to the game. And you think about the number of years that you played, the number of years that I played, I honestly wouldn't have been able to put up the numbers that I did if it wasn't for me taking care of my body and things of that nature. So again, like I said, your question about why, I have no idea.
You know what? I can answer that probably better than T, because I know T better than he knows himself. But T doesn't love football like Randy does. It's like you guys have again, both of y'all been, you know, very close friends for 20 plus years of mine. So it's funny, you guys are so similar, but when you're not similar, you guys are total opposites. Right, you know, because again, Randy will sit there on a day and he'll watch 3 college football games in a row, sometimes 4. I hit T, hey, you see the game? And what game? He don't even know that Clemson played Alabama on a certain day. It was, you know, certain games he'll go to, but Like, it's funny how you guys are just total opposites. And I remember I was telling you, I was doing an interview once, and I was just like, on the field, right, you have this boisterous, character, and then off the field, you have a subdued and quiet. That's T.O. Moss is quiet on the field, but off the field, Randy's a little chatterbox.
Yeah, I'm a little wild, a little crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys, again, where you guys are similar is really, in football. And again, I want to tell the fans, like I said, on our Popcorn podcast here with Randy Moss, we're talking about these numbers between T.O. and Randy Moss are so similar. Receiving touchdowns, right? Moss, you had 156. T.O., you had 153. Receiving yards, you had 1592. Moss to T.O.'s 15934. Receptions 1,078 to 982. Like that's almost close as the election was. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to stuff,
it's the golden boy.
You guys really
it's the golden boy.
But like I said, T.O. said, it ain't too late. We might be able to get a camp or something, these next couple of years, because you guys being your career past, again, that 02 to about 08, 09, that was like watching the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, the Jordan versus the Pistons. That's what it was like watching. Unfortunately, we didn't have social media back then.
And I'm glad.
Besides, Moss, you would have went to jail, and T.O. would have been a hooker. I guarantee it. So, but if you guys would have had social media, I think you guys would have been more like D. Hopkins and Julio Jones. You guys would have been going back and forth. You guys would have had a relationship via Twitter and social media, saying, like you said, Moss, hey, I got you today. And then T.O. would have came back, well, I got 4. And you would have came back, well, you know what I'm saying? But you guys didn't have that opportunity. Because, and you know how the seasons are for players. Like, we leave that stadium, we go home, we're with our loved one.
That's
we're not really going to contact the other person. But in today's world, soon as you'll be watching the game, it's 3 minutes after the game, and you'll see a player tweeting already. You know what I'm saying?
Game. Yeah, good
game.
Yeah.
So I think y'all's relationship would have been definitely something for the world to watch evolve if social media was available in today's game, for you two especially.
Yeah, and I think just to, piggyback on what Hat said, I think what you don't know about me is that I never thought I would play beyond the collegiate level. Obviously, we played in the Southern Conference, but I never thought I would play beyond the collegiate level.
And just, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Southern Conference, not the Southeast Conference. That's not the SEC.
Yeah, no, it's the SEC. Yeah. True. So my, again, like I said, my love for football, I just didn't have that love and affection for football. Like I said, I'm not finna sit around and watch games, all day. Like even now, even over the years, I mean, I don't even really watch football like that unless, like I said, it's a particular game, or like I said, I'll catch some highlights and what have you, or I have guys, like Julio Jones and like D. Hop.
Oh, got me with that, man.
Like even D. Hop over the weekend. I mean, I was out of the country, but I didn't even really pay attention to what was going on because I had people texting me like, "Yo, did you see that catch?" And to Hatch's point, I said, what catch?
Right? And me and Moss was on Twitter going off.
Going off.
Right. So somebody asked me that, I'm like, what? I'm like, what catch? And then, bro, I had to go find on Instagram.
Oh my God, they cheated me,
or what have you. But
I thought he went out of bounds, man.
I'm so sad. I was competitive. You talk about competitive juices. That's what drove me. That's what inspired me. When I played.
He was outside, man.
For you, Randy, like I said. Bro, you were so dynamic. Like I said, I wasn't one of your level.
Like this, man.
And as the season progressed, I wasn't one of those guys that I didn't keep up the stats. I mean, if I'm watching TV and it's a kicker or whatever, you see the games being played throughout the course of the day. You see the wins, you start seeing the quarterback statistics, what they threw for interceptions.
Oh, he was all the way in the back. I'm gonna go get some food.
You always see what they've done throughout the course of the day. I just saw it and I'm like, okay, I see what he did, but it didn't really drive me. Like I said, I didn't go to jail for Steve Young or any of my quarterbacks. I'm like, yo, did you see what Randy did? So that was funny that you went to Tom, and then Tom was like, I wish I had a quarterback like that. I honestly did. If I had some quarterbacks with that type of drive, but they weren't wired like me. You know what I mean? So it was everything that I did. I owe it all to my receiver coaches. Bro, they're the ones that inspired me to do the things that I did, and they pushed me, and then they molded me, and they groomed me to become the receiver that I did. So, man, like I said, it was a blessing. Honestly, just like I said, every team that I went to, from San Fran to Philly to Dallas, like I said, it wasn't really about what you guys did. It was more about what I could do and my focus on what I could do for my team. But like I said, if it put me in a position to, like I said, have you step your game up every week, then hey, we all motivated each other. We inspired each other from afar. But like I said, I saw it. But like I said, it wasn't one of those things like, okay, I'm going to try to outplay. I'm going to try to outdo Randy, because I knew my situation would look.
Piss.
To have the 28th ranked Chargers given up on Anthony Lynn. One rung below are the abysmal Eagles. What a mess they are. The Jags deserve credit for pushing Minnesota into overtime, while the poor Bengals didn't stand a fighting chance in Miami. Finally, what else can I say about the Jets that I haven't already said? Who went from riches to rugs and ended up 0-12 with Greg all over their faces. Get it? I'm Boomer Science.
Looking around your law firm, it's hard not to be proud of what you've created. A respected brand with 20 associates who give their all every day. You have what it takes to go big. Everything except a plan. How will you expand your footprint or increase revenue? Lexicon makes it possible. Lexicon is a legal services and technology provider with over a decade of experience helping law firms scale and grow while maximizing billable hours and maintaining client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/grow to learn more.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call clickgrainger.com/safety or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever had with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
If your car won't start, it might be a battery issue. Visit AutoZone for free battery testing, free battery charging, and a huge selection of car batteries starting at $79.99. It's just part of what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
NFL Week 14 gets underway tonight as Bill Belichick takes his New England Patriots out west to take on the LA Rams. With our coverage underway at 8 p.m., we're also continuing our week-long $100 Grubhub certificate giveaways, with your chance to pick one up through tomorrow in the 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., and 6 p.m. hours with Boomer and Gio, Moose and Maggie, and Carton and Roberts here on your flagship station for NFL football and New York sports. The Fan, Sports Radio 101.9 FM and Sports Radio 66, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
The radio.com sports station.
Streaming on your smart speaker, mobile device, laptop, and tablet at WFAN.com.
Boomer and Gio coming to you live from the Ford Talk Studio on Fan and CBS Sports Network.
You know, G, every year I'm involved in a committee. I guess you could call it a committee of past men of the year of the NFL, and you get to vote for who you think should be this year's Walter Payton Man of the Year. And it's something I think all of us take extremely, extremely seriously. So I get my ballot, and I get the booklet that kind of gives you a little bit of a dissertation on each of the 32 candidates from the 32 teams.
Okay.
And it's an impossible thing to actually vote on. And you have to just basically score each guy in 4 areas, and you give them a 5 if they're a 5, which would be the highest grade you can give in that area.
5-star.
Right, a 5-star.